Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Dewi and this is my brother.
Hello!
And today is a very special day because Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is out.
Yes.
So this is our review of the first episode, The Northern Star. So this is your chance now to leave before we get into any spoilers.
3, 2, 1, star.
Right,
Okay.
So it's been a year now for everyone, the audience, watching the last
since
season.
the first season.
So there's a bit of a recap at the beginning, but no, we start off this episode with the ship, the Northern Star, hence the title of the actual episode.
Yeah, being attacked by Daredevil.
Yes, and that is going to actually deliver military-grade weapons to Freeport. Now, you established in the last season that Freeport, the Red Hook, which is a Freeport, is being used for whatever Fisk wants. He's using it for weapons. Now, on who that is for exactly, I'm not too sure yet, but one of the people that represents that we'll get into later on does show up. But that is definitely a big question at the moment on who else he's working with.
Yeah, it does lead into a really cool fight scene where you have Daredevil fighting all the thugs on the ship and you've got like all the flashing red lights, and in the end the captain has to order for the ship to sink, and Daredevil just barely gets out there. And he's got his new costume, the black costume with like the red double D's on it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Really, really, really cool. I didn't expect it, didn't know if it was going to happen at the beginning or halfway through the season as it progresses, but no, it's right there, front and center, straight off with some action. And then realizing it, they were trying to flood the ship because they don't want anyone to know about
the
this.
weapons.
And they wanted to kill off Daredevil. I think it would have been a good sacrifice. And then those two get away, and that they're willing to sacrifice people still on the ship, you know, to do that.
Yeah. It then leads into Matt and Karen meeting.
Yeah, Karen's training now. She's learning some martial arts, I guess, with Matt.
Yeah.
They've actually set up now in the back of Josie's old bar. That's kind of cool. They knock them all down for that. So it's nice to see that those two are still together, and you get obviously Fisk's on the opposite side of things, where Fisk sees this now as a problem, and he realizes Daredevil is not just starting to go back into his old ways like the first season, but he's now fully back.
Yeah.
Beating everyone up and trying to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, so he brands, all vigilantes as a terrorist. Which you see later on during the interview with the lawyer, how Fisk treats vigilantes in the interview, where they just constantly brand them as, being hostile and everything, when all they're just trying to do is ask for a lawyer.
Yeah. So, pretty much, because you got that scene. That scene with Heather and the swordsman.
Yeah, Heather.
Oh my God. She's definitely gone off a deep end since the first season.
She's starting to have hallucinations about
Muse, yeah. I didn't actually know if we were ever going to see him in any way, shape, or form. I thought when they killed him off, then after a year, that's it, he's done. But
I'm not sure that Muse is dead. Like, obviously, we saw him die, but I think they're going to find a way to bring him back.
I don't know. I think maybe, possibly, but I don't think it'll be the same Muse. I mean, I think she was just going to go off the deep end. Maybe she becomes, I don't know, maybe a variant Muse. God only knows, but I guess that's more so leaning into she's actually now lying and trying to make the swordsman look like he's a psychopath.
The bad guy, yeah,
because she's, instead of writing down what he's actually said or doing or false to the questions, no, she's writing true, that evil spirits do possess me. Okay, are you speaking on yourself, or are you speaking some other reason? And she's definitely likes the liquor, but she was drinking vodka, I think it was.
Yeah, vodka it was.
So that was very interesting. So I wasn't exactly a fan of her in the first season, to be honest.
No, but now she's just gone completely off the deep end and is basically been bought out by Fisk, essentially. Yeah,
pretty much. Become the face of, let's give them, let's go through the healing process. You just threaten the guy that I'll get 2 other people in here to beat you up if you don't, answer my questions. You had that side of things. You've also got, what's that?
Yeah, the whole episode is essentially a race for time as well to get to the captain, isn't it?
Yes, actually, that's actually a good point, that the whole episode is based around the 2 people that know exactly what's inside that ship this entire time, that's now in those cargo containers just going down to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, it's the captain and vice captain.
Yeah, and everyone knows about it. That the two survivors that actually got off that ship. Now, one of them is dead.
Yes,
The other one, and then there is another one. However, he's just been taken into like the restaurant owner, who Matt did ask.
Yes. Like if there's any leads and stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna, hopefully he'll get there in time and save him before Fisk's people does.
Hopefully,
anyway.
yeah.
I assume so. Anyway, because she did say, she'd help him out and stuff. It's nice to see Cherry back. I did like that cop. I thought he was quite cool.
Cherry.
Because he's the guy that's been helping Matt. He knows Matt's identity as Daredevil, and he's always been trying to help him out the best way he can. Has a funny little scenes in there with him, the little banter between those two. Actually, we'll get to that as well, because that's something to do at the very end of the episode as well. You've still got the whole lawyer side of things.
Yes, because you've got like Matt's sort of secretary or whatever from the first season that's running the business for them.
Murdoch and Macduff is the business name, and she has, still tried to try to keep in contact with Matt, but obviously, he's keeping himself away from her because of, really his other side, and what he's doing. He's trying to keep her safe from all that side of stuff.
But one of her old sort of partners comes to her in that episode and tries to talk her out of being in the case.
Yes, and he's the one that tried to go against what's his name, White Tiger in the.
He was actually, yeah.
He was the guy that was going against Max. He threatened Matt, saying that if you're gonna next time any court case you go against, I'm gonna try and
bring this up,
and stuff like that. So it was interesting. I suspect they are going to meet again later on. Whether she'll find out later on about Matt's identity, possibly. I'm not too sure. Now, we go to another new character. The new character that's been brought into this episode, straight off the bat, which is Matthew Lillard's character.
Oh, yes.
So, his character, I think they call him Charles in it, but he's part of some kind of, I guess you could say, like a dark agency.
Yeah, an unknown one. We don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, he shows up off the bat. He gets told, he offers actually to go there and find out. Because I suspect he's working for the people that are basically shipping in the military weapons into the Freeport, in Red Hook in the Freeport. Now, you suspect that they're the Hand.
Yes, because obviously in the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, which we did also do a video about, you had what seems like, what I'm pretty sure is now the Hand in it. So clearly, from what you told me, the Hand seemed to have been all wiped out.
I think so. Anyway, I'm not too sure. But I did watch it Defenders. I assume they've all been wiped out now from watching that.
But if they really are in Brand New Day, then they can't have all been taken out. And seeing as they did have connection to Fisk, and this is, military-grade weapons, it's not exactly anything to joke about, I think that it's probably the Hand or some organisation similar to it, and Matthew Lillard's character is representing them.
Yeah, possibly. I think be interested to see that unfold. Again, this is the first episode, so they're setting up, obviously his character first. Obviously, we know Jessica Jones will come in at some point later on inside the show as well. But it's interesting, so he's working with Fisk. So you have some other authority figures from the governor that were going to oversight his whole safe streets policy against, all the vigilantes out there. And obviously that goes back to Heather and stuff like that. Who they're all going to lie anyway and say that, that they're all psychopaths anyway. But it is up to Murdoch and Macduff's business to try and save them and save the little guy. And again, Matt is missing or presumed dead.
Yeah,
and Karen Page is wanted because you've seen posters everywhere.
She is.
Stuff.
In fact, when she goes into a disguise to get her information, I did think the first time I saw the disguise that she was Jessica Jones. Which I guess just proves how well the disguise actually works.
Yeah, but she is getting, there are still people out there resisting.
Yes.
Who are giving her information, like BB Urich.
Yes. Since she's obviously pretending that she's on Fisk's side and all that.
Yeah.
And you even see other news journalists, like that guy that was pretending to be Fisk, Like,
I don't
basically-
understand what that was all about. I know the scene you're on about, like another news journalist, and saying I don't even know if that was officially put out there, just like trying to like slander Fisk's name or
Probably, I would say so.
But because you had no one reacting to it, it didn't just come up on the screen or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just us, the audience, that saw that. So to me, that was like, okay, what was all that about? Was that because he was talking about, oh yes, little baby Uric, your uncle would be so disappointed and all that business if you would see you now, working for Fisk and stuff. But that she's only doing that to get closer.
Exactly.
And find out more information. Karen Page did actually warn her about what would happen and try to tell her to basically sort of ease off.
Yeah, and try and play it safe for a little bit, saying that the best way to honour the dead is to not join them.
Yeah, and Ben Urich actually said that that the manipulators can be manipulated because that's what technically she's trying to do. And again, he actually, I mean, I know you won't have watched this because there's no way in hell you'd be able to watch it, but Ben Urich did die to Fisk. I think it was back in season 1 of the original Daredevil show. His niece has suspected this whole time it was Fisk, and it was. Because Karen Page did say to her, he died trying to save me.
Yeah.
So I think this episode is actually really good. I think they're just trying to
set the groundwork.
Yeah, and
for what's coming ahead.
And there's something big that's happening because obviously now we get to somewhat the end of the episode. And that is the anti-vigilante task force
raiding the home of Cherry.
Cherry, yeah, basically because they know that he's. I wouldn't say he's helping him, but he knows he's after the same people they are because they asked him because he's sniffing around trying to find those two, and that was enough for them to break the door down. Now I hope nothing happens to him because by the end of this episode, you're sort of left wondering. He's got the heart palpitations and stuff. He's got chest pains because they did beat him up a bit.
Yes.
So I don't know if we'll get him to a hospital or he'll recover.
I think he'll probably recover.
Yeah, I think if they wanted to make it more impactful, he would have died maybe at the end of the episode. So I like to think he'd be watch this now. Next episode, he'll die. No, I hope that doesn't happen because I really do like his character.
Yeah.
But I think Matt is still somewhat, I won't say traumatized, but he's
he still remembers.
Yeah.
And he's still mourning the loss of Foggy.
I was going to say it's Foggy that he's mourning the loss of, from the first time. That's why you had that flashback of him. And he exposed himself. Because I did think to myself in the scene, oh shit, his cover's blown.
Yeah.
But then, I guess, I don't know, I don't know what I was expecting. That someone would come in and help him, but I didn't think it was Bullseye. Maybe it would have been Jessica.
Yeah.
But maybe it was too many characters to throw in at one time. So I think Bullseye, who's more established in Daredevil, help him in. I know we wanted to kill Fisk in season 1.
Yes.
Now, obviously, nothing would have changed between then and now because he got technically betrayed by Vanessa in season 1.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he's trying to kill... he's going after Fisk. He's helping Daredevil, I guess, to do it. His actual agenda, though...
is, we don't really know at the time.
Well, he wants to kill him.
Yeah.
But why did he spare Matt to do it?
Maybe there's something to do with Matt that we don't know yet that might help him get his
revenge.
Because I
suspect that, if he wanted to go kill Fisk, he'd go out on himself to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else. Maybe there's a reason why he wanted to save Matt. I just feel like if he he could have just let him die and then have been another enemy for him that's gone and he wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
Maybe he knows that he can't take on Fisk alone at this point.
Possibly. I mean, the anti-vigilante task force is nothing really compared to superpower people they've got out there. But there's a lot of them. I'm sure with the numbers that they could definitely take a few people out. They are based off the Punisher, aren't they? Because what did he call them? His fanboys or something like that. So no, it'll be interesting to see how that develops through later on in the show, because it does say "you're welcome" on the knife that dropped. To the floor.
With Bullseye's logo on it.
Yeah, so I think the next episode is going to start off straight from his apartment. I'd like to think sometimes they do time lapses where you've gone from the end of an episode to the beginning. Maybe they'll be already in a hospital with Cherry or something like that, trying to make sure he's safe and stuff. I think. Do you think character interactions like Matt meeting Heather again is going to happen at some point?
Yeah, I think it's bound that Matt and Heather will meet again.
Yeah.
As well as Matt and Duffy will meet again.
Yeah. Along with Karen Page, maybe. Along with possibly Fisk. I'm not too sure because there's a Fisk doesn't like. I mean, he doesn't like them both anyway. But I remember also again season 1. You know, Buck, who's like Fisk's like right hand man.
Yeah.
Let's just say there was someone like him in season 1. He died, but he was killed by Karen Page.
Oh.
So, and she in the 3rd season to rile him up and get like him to sort of incriminate himself by killing her, she confessed to him that I was the one that killed him.
Oh.
So
that's clever.
that was back in season 3. Now, obviously, that didn't happen because she's still alive, but you know, he definitely has a hatred towards her as well for a specific reason. So I do wonder if those two would ever see each other again, along with many others. But yeah, again, episode 1, what did we think of it?
I enjoyed it.
I definitely did as well. Good, nice, strong start. Had quite a fair few action scenes at the beginning and the end.
Yes.
And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be
answered. And a lot of stuff that's going to come from it.
Yeah, especially like the military grade weapons and their purpose as well, the actual purpose. Because Matt does ask that at the beginning.
Maybe that also leads into Brand New Day with the tanks and stuff.
That's possible. I mean, I wouldn't think you'd fit a tank in a cargo container, but I see what you're getting at. Yeah, just the weapons themselves. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe, possibly. Maybe there is a bit more of a connection than we previously thought. So that's it for episode 1, The Northern Star. So I can't think of anything else, can you?
No, I can't.
Well, if there's any questions that any of you guys want to ask us, then feel free to leave it down in the comments in the comment section, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But that is going to be it from me, Dewi, and my brother.
Alive!
And we will catch you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.